Novak Djokovic has the chance to make history at this year's Wimbledon. Now, if you don't watch tennis or you don't know who the Joker is, let me just fill you in by telling you that he's basically the LeBron James of the tennis world, in the sense that he's making a run for the GOAT case and is probably already the greatest of all time. Now, I say that confidently because currently Novak has 23 Grand Slam titles, which is the most held by any man ever, with second place being Rafael Nadal at 22. And honestly, Nadal's been dealing with injuries lately, and I don't know if he'll ever make another solid run at it, a Grand Slam ever again. So who knows? He might be hard stuck at 22. Maybe down the road he gets one or two more, but Djokovic is on a heater right now. I mean, he's won the last two Grand Slam tournaments, which would have to be the Australian and French Open earlier in 2023, and he looks determined to win Wimbledon this year. And if he does so, he will be the first man to ever reach 24 Grand Slam titles, along with tying Margaret Court for the most Grand Slam titles held by any person ever. That's right, Margaret Court, if you don't know, she was a baller in the 70s, absolutely dominated the tennis world on the female side, and she currently has the most Grand Slam titles held by anyone at 24. Then you got Serena Williams, who's amazing, probably my favorite tennis player ever, not just because I'm American, but because her game is so fun to watch. She has 23 Grand Slam titles, tied with the Joker, but like I said, Djokovic has a chance to make history right here, right now. And after his third round matchup, he is this much closer to doing so. Now, during his Wimbledon run, I'd say he's been pretty damn amazing, consistent, and dominant. Dominant is the key word to describe the Joker's play, because most of his games haven't been close at all. In fact, he's been so dominant that he hasn't given up a single set through 3 rounds. Yes, you heard me right. He hasn't lost a single set in 3 rounds, meaning that he's only really had to play 9, and that's kind of crazy when you think about the fact that Novak didn't really play in any other smaller tournaments leading up into this one. So his first few rounds were basically his warm-up. That's how good this guy is. Now, let's get to Novak's first round matchup versus Pedro Cachin. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's who he faced. Anyway, in the first set versus Cachin, the Argentinian did alright. He held in there for a little longer than most expected, but he did end up losing the first set 6-3. And if you thought that was good enough, well, he did the exact same thing in the second set, again losing 6-3. So the first 2 sets easily went Novak Djokovic's way. I think that was very clear to see. But in the third set, Cachin turned it up just a little bit, as he would, bring the game 6-6, tied. It was solid. But Novak Djokovic would win the tiebreaker, eventually winning 7-6, 7-4 overall, whatever. Novak Djokovic won in 3 sets, and it wasn't really close, except for that last set. But honestly, come on. We all know that even if the Joker gave up that third set, he was winning the fourth, because Pedro Cachin didn't stand a chance. He did put up a good fight, but not good enough when you're playing the number 2 ranked player in the world. Yes, he is number 2. Yeah, talk to the tennis heads up controlling whoever decides that. Talk to them about that. Okay, alright, don't bring it up with me, okay? I don't decide who's number 1 and number 2. Now, if you've watched any of my other tennis videos, I made a video about Carlos Alcaraz, and I do believe he is going to win the tournament. I'm not making this video to say that the Joker is my favorite. He isn't. I like the dude, but he's not my favorite to win Wimbledon this year. That would have to be Carlos Alcaraz, who's been playing pretty amazingly, I'd like to say. Anyway, I'm making this video to point out the fact that Novak's on the verge of making history, and he could do so right now. And it looked all the more clear to me when I watched his second round matchup against the Aussie Jordan Thompson. Now, Jordan Thompson did play better than Pedro. Unfortunately for Pedro, Jordan Thompson did play a little bit better. But can you guess what he did in the first set? Yeah, 6-3, he lost. Novak Djokovic came in this game strong and took control early, which is exactly what he did with this first set. Now, in the second set, Jordan Thompson gave him a run for his money. This set was pretty darn close. I almost believed that Jordan Thompson had him, but Novak Djokovic was able to barely pull away in the second set, coming away with it, getting a 2-set lead on the guy. And when Novak Djokovic has a 2-set lead on you, you kind of know that it's over. I don't think that he's blown any of those, or at least too many of those throughout his career, especially at this point. The dude's currently in his prime, maybe on the way out, but come on, he's got like 3, 4, 5 years left of his prime here. So Novak Djokovic, when he's up 2 sets on you, you better beware. It's probably over. Anyway, the third set rolls around, and again, Jordan Thompson puts up a fight. He stays in there longer than most expected, but he does lose it 7-5, which is tough to see for the Aussie. I was really rooting for Jordan Thompson, not like rooting against Djokovic, but I was just hoping that a young dude had success was all. Didn't happen. Jordan Thompson loses in 3 sets, and all of a sudden, Novak's looking like the favorite in Wimbledon after 2 rounds. And that might be what most believe. Hell, most believe that going into the tournament, but not me. Not me. I still had my boy Carlos Alcaraz. I'm going to stick by him, ride or die, even if he loses, alright? But Djokovic looked fantastic in second and first round. And that brings me to his third round matchup, which just happened today, where he took on Stan Wawrinka. Yes, Stan Wawrinka, the man who's won 3 major titles throughout his career. He was pretty darn good. I mean, he won those 3 major titles during the Big 3 era. When I say Big 3 era, I am obviously referring to Federer, Nadal, and Djokovic. Yeah, Stan Wawrinka was able to win 3 in his prime, which is amazing. More than most can say, if we're being real. If he were born in any other era, he'd probably win way more. But unfortunately, that's not the case for him. Anyway, Stan Wawrinka takes on the Joker in the third round, and this might have been Djokovic's best start to the tournament in any game, where again, he does win the first set 6-3. Are you starting to see a pattern here? Yeah, Djokovic comes in these sets strong and sharpened and ready to dominate and wins the first one, taking control of the game. And then, unlike his opponents, his former opponents, Wawrinka didn't really put up too much of a fight in the second set, losing 6-1. Yeah, after that second set, I was really feeling bad for the guy. I mean, Wawrinka was, I don't even think Wawrinka thought he could win heading into the tournament. If you watched any of his interviews right before this matchup, he wasn't really too confident, but he still stuck in there. Lost 6-1 the second set, and then the third set rolls around, and Wawrinka's like the oldest men's guy in the tournament, so his career's coming to an end. But hell, if he's gonna go out, he's gonna go out swinging, which is exactly what he did in the third set, as he took the Joker to the brink, and I do mean the brink of absolutely losing. I mean, Novak Djokovic was the closest he's been all tournament to losing a set. Now, I say he's been the closest because he didn't actually lose the set, of course. He won the set eventually on a tiebreaker. Sucks that it had to happen this way for Wawrinka, but he is going up against Novak, so there's only so much you can wish for there. Anyway, Djokovic wins in 3 sets yet again, making him undefeated through 3 rounds. Now, he is supposed to take on some dude that his name I can't pronounce, and by this time the video comes out, he may have already played him in the round of 16, so who knows. But as of now, he's played 3 rounds. He's looking fantastic, and he's not my favorite to win, but he does have a chance to make history here by winning his 24th Grand Slam title, which is the point of the video, to point out the fact that he could make history. But that's about it. That's all I really wanted to say. I like making these tennis videos. They're fun. Interesting. Anyway, catch y'all later. Much love. Deuces.